Here's the hard truth. Nobody cares you're the project manager. They care whether you can make their job easier or harder. See, one day an unusual request circulated through the project management office, a collection of interconnected projects, complex and far outside of our standard scope, yet they needed a leader. I watched as several seasoned PMs reviewed the brief and humbly, respectfully said, I'll pass. Matter of fact, they declined. If I'm honest, my rational brain was telling me to actually do the same. My plate was already full. This was uncharted territory, but a quieter voice asked, if you always stick to what you know, where will you ever go? Therefore, I raised my hand. I volunteered, fully aware that if there had been a sign-up sheet for the least qualified, my name would have been written up there with permanent marker at the top. That's when the most freeing realization hit me. My title meant nothing there. Nobody cared about the words project manager on an org chart. My only currency would be influence, and my only tool will be undivided, matter of fact, a servant leader as I'm giving service. So I threw the playbook out the window. Instead of calling the big kickoff meetings to establish my authority, I met with several real experts, one by one. My pitch, it was straightforward, simple, yet honest. I'm going to pretend I know nothing about this project because I don't. But I do admire you for one thing, is that you know about this project. So what I'm going to do, if you allow me to, is be your shield. I'll take on every administrative task that comes. I will chase every signature. I will document every detail so you don't have to. Your focus will be on building. My focus, well, I'll just focus on clearing the noise around you. At first, I could hear it in the background. They chuckled. I even got a couple sideways glances. A few thought, wait, a PM actually volunteering to do grunt work? But weeks later, those looks changed. They were replaced with trust, with a quiet focus that they haven't seen before, with energy that wasn't there before. The team was thriving because they knew someone was watching their front, side, and back. And that's when it clicked. That project taught me one of the most endearing lessons of my career. Leadership isn't about having all the answers. It's about creating space for people who do have the answers to succeed without friction. True value isn't the title you carry, it's the weight you lift. Principle number one, don't hide behind the title. See, titles give you authority, but authority without service is empty. If all you do is flash the project manager badge, you'll lose influence fast. Respect isn't earned by what's on your email signature. It's earned by the value you create in the trenches with your team. Why is this important, family? Teams don't follow titles. They follow people who make their lives easier in their only on your title. You become invincible in the moments that count. If you show up as someone who clears the path, you will become unforgettable. Experiment with these actionable tips. Take on the unglamorous work. You know what I mean? Volunteer for the admin or prep tasks that free your team to focus on delivery. It builds quiet, but lasting influence. Next one. Ask the support question. Ending meetings with, what's one big thing I could take off your plate this week? And then actually deliver and follow through. The last and final one, show up in pressure moments. Don't just manage deadlines. Stand shoulder to shoulder with your team when things get tough. If your title isn't the source of your value, then what is? The answer lies in something that doesn't bend to opinion or ego, the triangle. Principle number two, men lie, women lie, but the iron triangle never lies. Again, men lie, women lie, but the iron triangle never lies. See, scope, time, cost, and quality are the forces you can't fake. You can spin stories, but the project triangle always tells the truth. If you ignore the triangle, reality will catch up to you, and usually in the most ugliest way possible. Missed deadlines, over budget, and most importantly, angry stakeholders. Why is this important? Ignoring the triangle leads to failed projects and frustrated stakeholders. The triangle forces hard conversations about trade-offs. If you avoid those, you'll be seen as a PM who can't face reality. This is the fastest way to lose credibility. Experiment with these actionable tips. Visualize the trade-off. Use a simple diagram or slide showing scope, time, cost, and quality, so leaders can see what they can max out on and what they need to minimize on. Next one, anchor changes to the triangle. Every request gets tied to what it impacts. Yes, we can add scope, but it will extend the timeline, or it will extend the cost, or it will extend the quality aspect of it. Next one, document the decision trail. You know that was coming because our motto here is documentation beats what? Documentation would always be conversation. So capture trade-offs and recaps so nobody can claim later, oh, we didn't know about it. But I get it. Numbers keep us honest, but following them blindly makes you rigid. That's where curiosity turns a PM from a taskmaster into a trusted partner. Principle number 3, stay curious, not robotic. PMs who just follow plans like robots get replaced. The valuable PM asks why priorities shift and why decisions are made. Curiosity shows you are invested in outcomes, not just in checkbox. It often uncovers insights that make you indispensable. Why is this important? Curiosity makes you adaptable. Adaptability keeps you relevant. If you just follow instructions, you'll be treated like a task manager. If you probe deeper, you'll become a strategic partner when you lean in. Experiment with these actual tips. Ask why once more. What does that look like? Push past the first answer immediately. Often the real issue is buried under the surface. You know, we like to talk about getting to the root, not the symptoms. Next one, follow the money. Learn how project outcomes affect revenue, customer value, as well as cost savings. This separates you from a box checker. And the last and final one, practice scenario thinking. Instead of reacting to changes, ask, if this shifts again, what's our next best move? And curiosity gives you insight, but insight alone won't carry a project. To move people forward, you need to have something that a lot of us have forgot about at times. Human skills that no tool can replace. Principle number 4, soft skills beats your fancy tools any day. I had to say how my granny would say it. Soft skills will beat your fancy tools any day. Jira, Asana, Microsoft Project, Gantt charts, etc. I love all of those things, but they don't manage people. You do. Soft skills separate PMs who just track tasks from PMs who actually make the decision, not the choice, to lead. What or when you build trust, communicate clearly, and read the room, people follow you because they want to, not because they have to. Why is this important, family? Influence, empathy, and communication builds trust faster than any software update can. Without soft skills, you're just another person updating a dashboard. With them, you become the leader who actually moves people forward. Experiment with these actionable tips. Learn to read the room. Notice silence, frustration, or body language shifting. Often, they reveal more than what was said. Next one, use questions, not commands. Try this, for instance, family. What's blocking you? Instead of, why is this not done? See, this opens up dialogue instead of someone being defensive. And the last and final one, master your meeting recaps. Summarize discussions in clear human language, no jargon. People will follow those who clarify, not complicate it. And of course, tools won't earn you loyalty, but people's skills will. And once people trust you, you can go beyond just tracking problems. You can actually start clearing them up. Principle number 5, remove rocks. Don't just count them. I like that, family, because anyone can list blockers. Your value, your opportunity is in clearing them, cutting through the red tape, escalating approvals, or finding alternative paths. If you let obstacles pile up, you become part of the problem. If you are relentless, clear with them, you become the person, or I should say, you become the reason projects move forward. Why is this important? Teams lose faith when blockers just sit untouched. They gain faith when you relentlessly remove friction. The difference is simple. A PM who counts rocks becomes a backup dancer. No, I'm sorry. Becomes backup noise, while a PM who clears rocks becomes the reason the project succeeds. Experiment with these actionable tips. Assign ownership. Every blocker gets a name and a deadline. Otherwise, it's just jargon or lingo. Next one. Escalate with solution. Don't just say we're blocked. Say, here's the issue. Here are two ways to solve it, and here is my recommendation. And the last and final one, track wins. Keep a visible log of blockers cleared. It shows progress and reminds the team you are definitely fighting for them. Removing blockers builds momentum, but clearing the path isn't enough if nobody remembers who made the call. That's where keeping receipts protects you and your team. Principle number 6, keep receipts always. We never agreed that we wasn't going to move forward with that project. Documentation is your insurance policy. Without clear records, you're vulnerable to blame shifting and political battles. With receipts, you become untouchable. Why is this important? See, when a memory fades or politics heat up, your records protect your credibility and the project. Without receipts, you're at the mercy of whoever shouts loudest. And with them, you control the narrative, basically the plot. Experiment with these actionable tips. Send 24-hour recaps after any decision-making meeting. Send a summary why memories are fresh. Next one. Write like a neutral journalist. I like that, family. See, avoid emotion. Stick to who decided what was decided, and why it was decided. And then once you do that, moving to the next point, centralized storage. Use a shared tool like Asana, Teams, Confluence, SharePoint, Box. There's so many out there. So receipts are just not stuck in your inbox. See, documentation protects you from the past, but projects are also threatened by what's ahead. The real test is whether you are brave enough to call out the risk nobody else will. Principle number 7, spot the risk nobody wants to say out loud. See, teams avoid tough conversation, but unspoken risks are project killers. Valuable PMs surface them early, even if it's uncomfortable. Your willingness to speak the truth. No one else can save the project from disaster that everyone else was too scared to name. Why is this important? Ignored risk costs more later. Address risk keeps the project alive. Silence is comfortable, but yet it is very deadly. Being the one to voice the hidden risk proves you're not just managing tasks, you're leading and safeguarding the future. Experiment with these actionable tips. Ask the late night question. What is that? In your one-on-ones, retros, ask, what's keeping you up at night about this project? Next one, name it without blame. Frame risk as realities, not accusations. Here's a good example. We may miss the integration testing if resources stay thin. Next point. Pair every risk with a response. Don't stop at identifying. Propose a mitigation or contingency path in case this thing flips into an issue. But listen, geeking up about risk proves courage. Courage means nothing, and I do mean nothing if nobody understands what you are saying. That's why translation, not just message passing, defines your true value. Principle number 8, be the translator and not the messenger. Again, be the translator, not the messenger. Anyone can forward an email. True value is taking complex details, translating them so the right audience can act. If you can't bridge the gap between the technical and the strategic, the project will stall, and so will your reputation. Why is this important? If the business doesn't understand the team, and the team doesn't understand the business, your project will stall. The PM who can translate will become effective and essential to the overall project. Experiment with these actionable tips. Rewrite updates for the audience you are speaking to. For technical details, for engineers, you want to make it technical. For execs, you want to make it business impacting. For one message, because one message is not going to fit all of that. Know your audience. Use visuals over paragraph. 1-page chart beats a 3-page email every time. And the last and final one, check for clarity. Ask stakeholders, what's your takeaway from this update to confirm alignment? And I'll say this, family, Translation is influence in action. And when you translate, you stop being just a project manager on an org chart. You become the leader people rely on when things matter most. Here's the truth, family. When I think back on that project, I realized that it wasn't my schedule. It really wasn't my title. Even my tools that carried us through, it was my influence. It was the ability to communicate clearly, to shield the team from distractions, and to create a space for them to actually do what they came there to do, their best work. That's the heart of project management. Your value isn't in a title that you carry. It is in the weight you lift others up. So as you step into your next project, remember this. Nobody will measure you by how loudly you remind people you're the project manager. They'll measure you by how much smoother, lighter, and clearer the role feels because you were there. Be the shield. Be the translator. Be the one who spots risks before they explode. Do that, and you'll never have to convince anyone of your value. They already know. If you're serious about leading projects the right way, check the link in the episode. Let's you and I get to work. If you're new to the episode, I go by the name ED. For all you smart and intelligent folks out there, hey, listen, that just simply means it. Until next time.